What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Yeah, we're going to have that uncomfortable conversation because we can't have it both ways. We can't only do this to LeBron James or a Giannis or KD, but Curry gets all these passes. No, sir, not when you guys are telling me he's the greatest point guard ever. And I don't want to hear nothing about it's a team game because we don't play that game with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Nope, can't do it. I see Curry fans yucking it up when we go in on LeBron blowing leads or his team and all that. But then when Curry is in a situation where his team falters, it's always other people's fault. Nope. Let's keep it real. So last night, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that the Warriors didn't take care of business. Now, get this isn't the prime Warriors squad. I get that. But the consensus is that the Warriors were heavily favored to win this playoff matchup against the Rockets because they were the better team. They just acquired Jimmy Butler. At one point, they were the hottest team in the NBA. They won 19 of 21 games after acquiring Jimmy Butler. It was believed pretty much that had they had Jimmy Butler from the beginning of the season, they would probably be a top 2 seed in the West. Okay? The fact that they now have to, and they're capable of doing it. They're more than capable of winning in Houston. I'm not saying the series is over. But remember, they had a 3-1 lead over Houston. Remember, almost 10 years ago, another Warriors team had an infamous 3-1 lead, which they blew. Now, a lot of us gave Curry a pass with that one, right? Injuries. I used to hear people say, oh, well, Curry was hurt and he wasn't 100%, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Okay. Curry's relatively healthy. You got Jimmy Butler. You're playing a Rockets team that does not necessarily have that definitive go-to guy down the stretch. Although Fred VanVleet has become that guy. He has been Fred VanVleet, who I've been critical of. He's shutting my black ass up. Fred VanVleet has been the best player on the floor the past 3 games in this series. And he had another magnificent performance. Fred VanVleet in this game, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 6 of 9 from three-point range. In the past 3 games for the Houston Rockets, Fred VanVleet has shot 18 of 27 from three-point range. 18 of 27 from three-point range. Alperen Sengun has been probably if not the second best player, because Curry's had some good games, Butler's had a good couple of good games, but Alperen Sengun has probably been the most consistent player. 21 points, 14 rebounds. Steven Adams. It was a Steven Adams sighting in this game. They played Hacker Steve, and it didn't work. 9-16 from the line, 17 points in the game. Jalen Green, 20 points. Amen Thompson, 14.7 rebounds. And for the Warriors, Steph Curry had 29 points, but only 9 of 23 from the floor, 6 of 16 from three-point range. Jimmy Butler, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, but only, I think, 7 of 17 from the floor. And although Steph Curry did lead a charge, he led a rally down the stretch in the third quarter. I think getting the Warriors to within 2, I think. But then Fred VanVleet had the 4-point play, I believe. Then he had another. Then I think Jalen Green had another score. Then I think Fred VanVleet busted another 3. And all of a sudden, the lead is like double digits. They were pressuring Curry. They were trapping him. I think Curry had like 5 turnovers in this game. Then the Warriors went on an unbelievable stretch in the fourth quarter where I think they went 8 clock minutes without scoring a field goal, if I'm not mistaken. They missed 13 consecutive field goal attempts. And that was the backbreaker right there. That was so uncharacteristically Warrior. Another way of putting it. The Rockets took the crowd out of the game. And if you didn't know any better, you'd have thought it was the Rockets that were the championship team and this team that's inexperienced. So they're going to need playoff Jimmy to come up and show out in game 7, or I don't want to hear no more about this playoff Jimmy shit. Steph Curry too. Now the main reason why I'm titling the video the way I'm titling it is I'm getting tired of every time Steph Curry, makes some achievement, reach some achievement or milestone, or when they win a series, he gets all the credit, and then all of a sudden I hear he's better than Magic Johnson. But when they lose, it never somehow counts against him. I can't recall Magic blowing a 3-1 lead in the series. I don't remember that. What I do remember is Magic Johnson taking his team to the finals after Pat Riley left, after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retired, after Michael Thompson left, after Michael Cooper was gone, with James Worthy sidelined, and they were the favorites to beat the Bulls, but Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and that team was just too much. And who knows what they could have done if Magic Johnson never got hurt. They probably acquired Charles Barkley, and the landscape of the NBA and Magic Johnson's and Michael Jordan's and Charles Barkley's careers could have been irrevocably changed forever if Magic just could kept his dick in his pants. 2 things to note I want to mention before I finish this video. Ime Udoka is now 5-1 in his coaching career in elimination games. This guy is a very underrated coach. If it wasn't for the miracle that has occurred with the Detroit Pistons, I think he'd be coach of the year or a strong candidate. But I think you got to give it to is it Bickerstaff? I think the coach of the Pistons. You got to give it to Jimmy Bickerstaff. Okay, he kept hearing how he was the problem in Cleveland, but whatever, man. Steve Kerr is 7-0 in the first round in his career. That's in jeopardy. We got to see what happens in game 7, which I think is tomorrow. So Steph Curry and the Warriors can get it done and move on. But if they lose this series, after the Jimmy Butler trade, after talking this team can win the championship, I don't want to hear no more about that, man. I don't want to hear no more about him being the GOAT point guard. I don't want to hear no more about that, man. Seriously, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. What you guys think?